Oh man, let's talk about this. Go ahead, King. Tell us the story, bro.
Oh god, man. Here's the thing, right? So I was on my little lunch break. I figured, all right, I know a shop down the road, and I figured I'd swing on by and just see what they got going because I haven't been there in a while. It's, I don't want to talk about what the name of the shop. Some people probably already know, but before I could find books and keys in there sometimes, and they have prices on them. So I went in there and I saw this sign, and I was like, "Oh no, not you guys too!" So, and not only that, I'm going through books, and I'm not finding what I'm looking for. But the thing I notice is something new. They took off the stickers for back issues, so there's no stickers on any of the back issue books. And I'm kind of like, "Oh, I see what you guys are trying to do. You guys aren't sure what the price is, so it forces us to bring it up to a register and ask them how much this is, so they look it up." And I thought that's new, and I just never thought I'd ever see anything like that. And I've seen signs like this over in Union City, California, a shop I don't want to talk about. That guy's a jerk off. But and that guy loves to clap back on his reviews for his Google reviews and such, and that's so sad. But it's starting to become an epidemic right now, where it's like you see a sign like this. I even saw a sign from Tales from the Flip Sides page not too long ago, like about a day ago. The same deal, and it's just like it's spreading out all over the place. And for me, I just think something like this is bad business for shops, And yes, it's the shop in Pacifica. Yes, Sam. Yes, yes. Don't go back. That's all I can tell you. But no, like I know it's starting to be a growing number. For every good shop, sometimes you're seeing about one or two other shops are doing stuff like this, putting signs up. And the one thing that really annoys me a lot, like I see it and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna bother it. But the one thing I hated was seeing them take the time to take the stickers off the back issues instead of just repricing.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah, so it was just one of those things I couldn't believe it, man. So it's like I've been to shops where you got people sitting around. They're really some employers are sitting around doing nothing. Those are the bad ones. They're just doing nothing as passing the time. There's one in Berkeley that spends more of their time pricing stuff for their eBay store and not pricing stuff on the back wall that a lot of people go up and check out and get watched on. And the reason why you can't touch them is because they haven't been priced yet or haven't been processed yet. And they've been saying that for years. Meanwhile, you got spots in their current back issue bins, which are like half empty, got big gaps, which would have no bagging, no boards, but bags. So everything leans and bends the comic book. So if there's a book that you really wanted in there, it was bent all the hell due to the fact that people are completely negligent to doing their job. So I find stuff like signs like this and repricing at the register to be really bad business. Now, if you have a book that you pull from a spot, for example, that you're not supposed to go to and they price it at the register, I could get that. I could get that. But if you're repricing and changing the rules of what's been priced on the book, it's just pretty shitty. I mean, I know a lot of people have a lot of shops where they're at where they think it's the only place in town to go get comic books, but if you see a sign like that, have some willpower and just don't go back. They'll fill it.
Yeah, man. I want to unleash the beast, though, man. Thanks for putting this up, bro. But I want to unleash the beast with JR, bro. Go ahead, JR. I know you have a lot to say, bro. Go ahead, JR.
So my thing is, first off, these shops don't understand that we will get the name. Like King and I will talk after this, and we'll know this name. Comic fans, we learn the shops, and these are what become fuck you shops. We just don't go. Yeah. You want to talk about hard times? Wait till hard times.
Hold on. Can I tell you how JR really feels? Can I tell you how he really feels? There you go.
But I mean, it's real. You want to talk about hard times? Try when the whales, the fat asses like me, and the hardcore guys like King that will drop $200 and not even think about it. Go, you have this sign. You know what? I'm going to go to the next store.
Yeah.
No. Look. Yeah. Do your thing.
But I mean, there's that, and then there's also I get you want to do that, but at least put, hey, we're gonna check the price, and we can negotiate. Do something like that, because I have shops that I go to that go, you know what, I can't keep up with it. I don't have a staff. I can't tell you the price every time. But what they'll do is they'll go, okay, it's a $50 book, but I'll give it to you for $30.
Yeah.
Do stuff like that. Because they go, hey, you're going to have a stack of books. You're going to spend money. Money talks. This is America. Money talks. And if I'm willing to drop off 200 and you go, well, I'm going to make sure I get the full amount, I'll leave that stack and walk.
This is why the only shop that really, there's one shop that does it. That's Uncle Al. He doesn't put any prices on his stuff. It's just kind of memory. But Uncle Al will barter with you. So if you're about to do this bullshit, you better be bartering with us. You know what I'm saying? Yep. You better let us have some wiggle room, and we better go back and forth. And you got to remember that we did come here. We did spend $200 before, so give us a better deal today, right? Yeah. So what do you think, Nick?
I feel very strongly about this. Look, I grew up in a card shop and a comic book shop. Like, that's just, where I spent my time as a little kid. My dad owned one. And my job as the son of the shop was to price all the comic books and all the magic cards, and we did that because you should come into my shop knowing when you pick something up what it costs. I don't go buy a car, right? And go, hey, I want that blue one over there. And they're like, hold on a second, let me look it up, I need to see the current market value and all this stuff. They have a sticker price on the outside of the car, right? Guys, shop owners, I'm begging you, I'm pleading with you, don't do this. Like, guys, it's bad for business. If you want to spend your time going through your back bins, they're yours. You have plenty of time when the places are closed to go through your back bins and seeing if things are gone up. Or as King said, there's plenty of employees that are doing nothing all day, sitting at the register, eating food and watching TV and stuff like that could be going through your back bins, pricing stuff, so when someone comes in, they have a good experience. I do not want to spend my time going through your stuff, finding the good stuff, so then you can now price it up.
You should be paying us to do that shit.
That is unreasonable, and I get it. You put the sign. Great. You know what? I just like everybody else said. I see the sign, I walk out of the shop. I don't spend my time there in your shop, and you want people in your shop spending time there, right? No one likes, people feel more comfortable. You walk in a shop, people are digging through back bins and stuff like that, right? You go in a shop, nobody's in there. You're like, what's wrong with this place? I don't know, man. I just think this is a bad precedent to set. It's laziness on the behalf of the shop owner, right? And it's just a bad feeling. You are the first market. You're not the secondary market. Okay, you are the person. You bought this stuff at $1.50, $1.25 per book, or even less if they're older books. Especially if they're new books, you bought them at half of retail. That's what you bought them for in bulk from Diamond, right? Mm-hmm. And now because Yelena Belova has blown up and you haven't cleaned up your back room, you're trying to now charge $150 for this book when you know dang well you paid $1.50 for it. So you need to work with your shop, work with your people, like JR said. We'll negotiate on there. That little bit will allow me to continue to look. Right? Yeah. Little bit I'll go, oh, okay, well maybe I'll look and maybe they won't be such an asshole.
Yeah, bro.
But can I rebuttal Dan Delatorre's thing real quick? I understand that if they have 10,000 comics, they're not going to be able to do everything. But it's not really hard to go, okay, Loki's on TV right now. Flash is in production. You've got Hawkeye's coming out. You got Miss Marvel coming out. It's not too hard to go, okay, well, let me think about those shows. And then let me go do this thing that's called YouTube and look up these shows that are going, hey, these are the hot books that people are looking at. And maybe going, hey, let me see if they're in my collection and go and find them. We're not saying go through every book and go, hey, I'm going to look at this Power Rangers book from whenever and reprice that. Obviously, 95% of your collection are going to be stuff that is probably priced accurately. There's that 5 to 10% that's going to be volatile from day in and day out. And And it even saves you plenty of time. Just don't even fucking touch DC. Just leave it the fuck alone. And you just got to deal with Marvel.
But my thing is like, but this is where go ahead. This is where I'm coming from though. Like, if you want to price your books like this, and you want us to come up to the fucking register so you can price them off eBay, then you should be doing all the fucking hard work like we are doing. Like, people watch this show. I watch my own show. I go to Tales and Flip and watch their show. I go to CBSI and read all their stuff. I go and watch Comic Tom. So there's all these hours put in for me to figure out which books to buy. And then I'm taking all these books up to you because you don't want to do the same work I'm doing. Right. You know, like, that shit ain't fair, bro. You know?
I've been to a comic book show, man, and literally a guy was like, he had a box of books, and he's like, oh, yeah, you can go through that, but I haven't looked anything up yet. And when I do, then that's how much it'll be, right? And then so I found a couple books. He's like, okay, and he goes through eBay for each individual one. And then now we're talking about the condition, and the condition being subjective now, right? Because who knows what the eBay condition was versus what the condition is in the book in your box, right? And then the guy had the nerve to tell me, and Ian, you know this guy. You're going to see him this weekend, right?
I know this guy.
25 and 2.
You know, and he told me he would.
No, I know this guy, bro. He's a dick, bro.
He would sit there and go, you know, hey, this book could be an 8 if you press it. And I'm like, well, someone has to press it. That costs work and money and materials.
Yep, exactly.
You know, and then I'd have to grade it. And he's like, well, it could be an 8.0, so I'm charging you an 8.0. This whole industry is nuts, right? And it's all you have to do is show your regulars a little love. If they dig for books,
like Uncle Al does, right? Uncle Al always shows us love because he knows we're going to be coming back, and it pays over 10 folds, man. It pays 10 folds. We always going back to Uncle Al's, bro, because he always gave us a deal because he know we're regulars, you know.
Repeat customers, man. Repeat customers. So here's a story. Now, back to what Nick was talking about, like looking on eBay for prices and such. Me and my boy Anthony, we hunt together from time to time, and we were up in somewhere in the North California, like Ukiah or Lake County, somewhere in there. Found an antique shop. Went through a bunch of the books and took it to the register. The lady had to look it up, and one of the books I had was an Uncanny X-Men 164, and she looked it up and gave me a price. So the price, I wasn't really good about it, and I was like, and the one thing was, it not only was kind of tattered up, and I didn't notice it until we got to the register, but there was an old booger on the cover.
No shit.
And I pointed it out to her because I was like, something like that.
Yours?
It wasn't mine. No,
I was like, is this yours?
Yeah, no, but it's like, it was one of those things where it's like, maybe with a clean knife, or somebody else's knife, just flick that sucker off. But she still wanted to charge me a full price for it, and I was like, seriously? It's not like I put the booger on the book, This thing's dried up from like 1984. But another thing, though, one thing we all need to keep in mind, and I know a lot of shops like to make excuses saying they don't have the time, and that's the one thing that really chaps my ass a lot, because of the fact that with real respect with what happened recently last year, where everybody went through the whole COVID thing. Mm-hmm. A lot of shops were closed.
Sure.
And that gives, when they say they don't have the time, I respect that to a certain extent. But if you're running your shop and you have no customers in there, and you're the only person or another person with you in there, you have time to price your books and retool, reorganize, right? To get things going. Like say for example, Cape and Cal. They did a lot of sales online, on Instagram. So, But meanwhile, they actually retooled, repriced everything they had in their store. So they had time to do that. So when people say stuff like, "Oh, well, I don't have the time," I call bullshit. I call absolute bullshit. You're like, you have time to take a box home, go through a whole box one day, whether it's a short box or long box. Yeah, and just do it, but don't.
I got one better for you, King. I got one better for you. Think about this, right? When they buy these books, right, in collections, which many of these shop owners do, people come into their shop thinking they have gold. Oh, I got these short boxes from my cousin or from my auntie or my uncle or whatever. And well, what do I have? Hey, can you buy all these? They buy, like, if you guys ever follow the account Aaron Myers on Twitter, these guys are getting books for $3 a book, right?
Sometimes a quarter, bro. Let's be honest.
Right.
Sometimes a quarter,
sometimes $1 a book, and they put it in their box. They put it in their back bins at a price where they would make a profit. That's where they put it in there at a price that they would make a
steak
profit.
Dinners with that shit, bro.
So then on later on, because the market changes, you to go, well, I bought it at $3. I have it in there at 16. Now someone pulls it out for 16 and they want to buy it, and I look it up, it's worth 30, and I got to charge them 30 for it. That's just you not repricing your books. That's you not paying attention, right? Because you put it, or you getting greedy because you put it in there at a price that you were going to make profit at anyways, right? So what is the big deal if you allow your patrons to come in and make a level of profit, right? What's the big deal, right? If I come in there and I buy a box of Magic cards and I pull a Black Lotus, you're not going to be like, hey man, you owe me more money. You pulled the Black Lotus, man. You owe me a couple more bucks, right? It's I bought the thing and I did that. So I love shop owners. I love my shops. Shout out to all of y'all out here in San Diego, right? But you gotta let your people. You gotta be the first market. You're not the secondary market. Yeah. And if you want to be the secondary market, go on eBay and sell your books,
or do what we do and watch everything and anything. Now, Big Rob, man, I want to get you in trouble with your shop, bro. What do you think?
No, I mean, my shop are cool, man. We're dope. But what I would do, actually, personally, if I go to this shop in Pacific, I'll walk in, pull out 60 about the trashiest books you can find, go up to the counter and say, can you please price every book? And watch him price it for about 30 minutes. And he's like, and he gives you a price. Like, that price don't work for me, and just walk out.
There you go, bro.
Yeah,
I've heard that a lot.
Yeah.
But King, you came into my shop about a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
And where did you see me at the shop? What was I doing?
You were chilling, bro. You were just hanging out, just enjoying your day.
And you know who else was right there with me? Was the shop owner.
The shop owner was hanging there too. Good shop, by the way.
It's a great shop.
Yeah,
is it the hot sauce shop, bro? The hot sauce shop?
No, it's not the hot sauce.
The hot sauce shop.
That's Empire Comics. Fulton. But
yeah, I've been there. Yeah, I actually found some books there too. Those aren't so bad.
But one thing my shop owner figured out was you can get a lot of free labor with the schools nearby. Yep. A lot of them want internships. Mm-hmm. We'll send kids over to work there for free.
Yep.
To price those bins, you just have to have it organized, and you just show them, hey, this is what you need to do, and they can sit there and do it. Then my fat ass could just sit back, and my shop owner plays board games with me on Fridays and Saturdays every week. He binge watches sci-fi. I mean, he works, he does bust his ass and does his stuff, but he's got all of his ducks in a row, and it's because he gets interns to take care of that.
There you go.
That's free labor for shops.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I walked into a shop and they've told me I can't look through something because it's not been priced yet. And that's respectable. You know what?
It's respectable. It's respectable, but it's also a horseshit answer too. They just say go. Yeah. They're telling you to go away. That's basically they're refusing sale.
But at least you plan on pricing it, right? And it's not. And I'm not talking about the main boxes that someone would go to. It's like, oh, this is something off to the side. Hey, don't go through that. I have not gone through that yet. Totally respectable, right? But what I understand in that means the back boxes, everything there is already priced. Right, so if I go through and I find some gems, there has to be somewhere where you can't be mad at your patrons for wanting to make money. It's part of the game. These are collectibles, right? And it's not like we can open. It's not like every comic book is doing blind packs, and we're getting Stan Lee autographs like it is with baseball cards and stuff like that, right? So that is our market for these back issues.
Yo, man, I don't want to get in trouble with my shops because nowhere. They do it pretty good. They wouldn't do this to us.
Yep.
And shout out to Nowhere. They wouldn't do this. And I know that our boy Aaron over at Now and Never would never do this to us. So shout out to them. They're like the two honest shops here in San Diego that wouldn't do it, man. The other ones, If you didn't get mentioned, you're like Oh, and SoCal wouldn't do that to you either. SoCal wouldn't do that shit to you either, right?
They have employees. They have employees that do that job.
SoCal wouldn't do it to you. Those are 3 shops that I have respect for in San Diego.
I'm a fan of comics and stuff. It depends on which location you go to, whether there's things like that, you know.
Yeah, man.
They honor the prices in comics and stuff. So I put up gems, and they don't cry about it. They just sell them to me and move on.
And the only thing I ask the comic shops is just do your job. You know,
that's all, man. Just
if
it's your job.
If you do your job and you catch up on all this, and hell, if you want to, you can even read the news, because everybody walks in the shop. You know, these shops happen to read the news and know what the hell's going on. How come you don't know what's going on? Because you're not doing your job.
Right.
Yeah. When someone asked me, a shop owner asked me, like, "Oh, so why is this hot?" I'm like, "Dude, really? Yeah, I'm not gonna tell you.
I'm not reading the news.
That's a lot of hard work to get that news. You know what I'm saying?" But
when you take 5 copies of something up to the register, that they start asking questions. They're like, "Hey, man, what do you need 5 of these for? Are you gonna read them all?"
No. Steve, can you bring Dan De La Torres's question up, because I think that's a good one for us all to end on, man. Like,
yeah, of course, man. For sure.
Yeah, he had asked how would we approach this as a shop, right? Yeah, because Dan's awesome, man. Dan always has he's the OG, man. He knows what's up, bro. So he had a really good question.
And please, Dan, don't think I was attacking you.
No, Dan's a dope, bro. We love you, Dan. So my response is that comics, especially Marvel, are moving up in value across the board. Question: given the volatility of the market, how would you gentlemen handle this if you had an LCS? I'm gonna start with our sniper, bro. How would you do it, bro?
Oh,
let's just all go down the line, man. Let's have like a multiple. Let's have different answers for all this, you know.
I would take the time and do my research and price the books accordingly. I would make them cheaper than they are on eBay. Because like, hey, I want people to come back. I wouldn't have that stupid sign, because I walked out of I have a lot of LCSs. One of my LCSs did this shit. I walked out and I stopped spending money. I just
left. See you
I was gone. I was done. Like I spent a lot of money on books. They know it, and they don't have my business. And that's it. But they need to do the work. That's it. That's period. Done. I would price them accordingly. Always make them cheaper than eBay. With fees, just everything. So again, people keep coming back.
Steve, how would you do it, bro?
If you're in business and this is your business, you got to stay on top of it. You know, if you're not staying on, it would be like any other, business that is doing sales, right? If you're gonna be, look, you can't just say that you don't have that time in the day. I mean, if you're running your own business, it's your own business, it's your baby. Guess what? You ain't sleeping. If you want to be successful and if you want to move forward, you are gonna do what it takes to be ahead of the curve. If you have I wouldn't be offended if you had like maybe 6 copies and maybe you did 2, pull them and you put them on eBay just to make a little profit because of the pandemic, probably. But a true owner, to Alonzo's point, is going to want you to come back. So you're going to stash those in gems. You knew what that nostalgic was when you were a kid, so that's probably why you're in the same business. So don't you want to see the same for your customers? Don't you want to see that excitement? That roaring heart of a first collector that's just coming in, that's a kid that's just pulling like all these comics. I mean, that's what you're in it for. You're in it to make profit, but for God's sakes, you got to be mindful. I mean, you gotta understand why you got into business. It's the price of doing business. You just gotta be on top of it.
Yep.
So I'm sorry. Yep. That's it. Go for it, King.
King, how would you do it, King?
Read the news, do your job. That's all I can say.
There you go.
That's all it takes. Because you're here all day long, at a shop. And I'm sure some people, there's days where there's slow days or lackadaisical days where you don't feel like doing the work. I get it, but take 2 or 3 days out of the week and catch up on the news and just price your books. And if it's like too low and somebody buys it for you at that price, oh well, that's fine. That's work. That's the market. Keep up on the news. Don't have to be. I know that there's some shops out there. I'm not gonna say it. They like to spend most of their days not doing this. Uni, exactly. Like they like to not talk about they don't want to put in the work, but they'll spend time clapping back on Google reviews, whatever, or looking to buy something online, for themselves, or looking at TV, and it's like, dude, do your job. Just pay. Because I'm sure every one of us brought something to the register, and they're saying, "Why are you buying 2 copies of this? None of your business. I like to read them twice." I mean, just it's
one for today, one for tomorrow.
Exactly, because like every
my nephew needs one, and my wife needs one too.
Exactly. So, I think everyone's been an excuse for Pokemon cards, but but the thing is, if you're not doing any research or even at least read the news or doing like one short box a day or a couple short boxes a week of pricing and repricing your books, you're not doing your job. And and you know what? That's okay, because like a lot of people say that stuff and see these signs and say, I hope that shop goes out of business. It takes a lot for a shop to go out of business. Keep in mind, guys. I've seen a lot. Like, look at the shop that you hate in your area, and think about how long they've been there. And,
it's still there.
Exactly. It takes a lot for a shop to go out of business. But that's what I would do.
JR, what'd you do, bro?
There's a couple things. One thing is, we're in the day and age of technology. There's programs that can track all of your inventory.
Amen. Just like
Close
we do.
a shop on a Sunday when it's not football season. Put it all in your system.
Get an intern to do it.
Get interns. Another thing I would do, I price everything to eBay prices, but then what I would do is, like at my shop, they have, you spend X amount of dollars, you get 10% off. And encourage you to spend more money, you get higher discount. They've got it up to where you spend, I think, $100, you get a $50 discount.
What? Can I go to that shop?
I know, bro.
I've seen it.
Oh, okay.
You saw at Empire, or not Empire, at Comics and Collectibles.
Oh,
they have
damn.
You spit. So
did you just say your shop to me, bro? You know that's bad.
Yeah, I know. I've already rated it though. But anyways, and that makes it from that 100. Now it's all of a sudden $50.
Mm-hmm.
So there's stuff you can do like that where you can go, hey, you know what? I know market high price, but I'm giving you a little bit of a break here if you spend more money. Because I want money. Give me the money. You can take the comics. Just give me the money because I need to fill this big belly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the bottom line. But you got inventory, you got interns you can get. There's ways to keep above everything. You just got to stay above your business. When I go to work every day, I go in there and make sure that I'm the best person at my job. If I'm going there for a comic shop, you damn well know that's going to be the best damn shop there is in town.
Mm-hmm. Big Rob.
Well, what I do, first thing I do is invest in Cover Price and Key Collector and all those apps.
Yep.
And I'll buy those apps and distribute them to my employees. Number 2 is I'll put a fucking TV on somewhere you can see it. Subscribe to Team Nerdhead Podcast. Subscribe to Tales, to Ultra. Subscribe to everybody.
King. Subscribe to King.
Everybody. And have that shit autoplay all day, every day. So our employees, customers, everybody sees that shit. And there's no mystery. We all know the prices. And you do your fucking work, price your books. Don't sit there and just get fat. You do your fucking job.
Yeah. Nick.
Well, here, look, man, I start to think about, like, how this compares to other things, right? Like, everybody wants to price a book up when it goes up, right? When a book comes down, it's like, oh, well, and then I worry about that. We'll leave that price up over there. I just think, man, like how I would address this if I was a shop is that, like JR said, I would embrace technology. I would also, keep in mind that, like, every time I buy a collection, I know what I paid per book. I know I paid $100 for this collection, and there's 100 books. That's $1 per book, right? I also keep in mind that the space inside of my shop should be generating so many dollars a month, right? Every square foot of space in my shop should be generating so many dollars a month. And if I'm not selling my back issue books, that's a problem. Right, that's a problem because they take up space where items could be making money and turning money and selling and making me rich, right? And paying for my expensive buildings and stuff. So, I'm more of along the lines of like, hey, once I price a book in there, unless something stands out, it's like, oh man, first appearance of Thanos. I know I got that. I got to go get it and reprice it. I'm kind of leaving it, man. If I bought all these books at $10 a piece and I price them for $20 and one book comes up to $100 and you're in my shop and you spend your time finding it, good for you, man. You just got yourself a $100 book for $20. I made my $10. I know what I paid for it. I paid $10. I made my $10, right? So, that's kind of just how I feel about it, man, is that, that's kind of the old way it always has been, right? It's like, people would price things by the Overstreet guide, and then things would go up and go down and be volatile, and they wouldn't care because you'd have shops saying, I priced this with the Overstreet guide, and I don't care what eBay does. Can we go back to that, please?
Yes.
Yeah, man. And man, I feel like I don't want to bunch up all the bad shops with the good shops. So let's just give a shout out. Everybody give a shout out to a good shop. I'll start with mine. I'll give a shout out to all the good shops. I'll give a shout out to Uncle Al's at Amazing Collectibles. I'll give a shout out to Matthias at No More Comics in San Marco. Shout out to Aaron at Now and Never in downtown, and in downtown San Diego, and SoCal over in Kearny Mesa. Man, all good shops, great shops, man. How about you? Give a shout out, man. Sniper.
Oh, Comic Cult in Torrance, and the Comic Bug out there in Manhattan Beach.
Steve.
Oh man, I'm gonna go with House of Secrets in Burbank. I've gotten some good deals. I talked to JD about that recently. The owner could be a little standoffish, but once he gets to know you, I mean, I've gotten some books and some good deals. And then what's
Golden Apple, bro?
Golden Apple always, man. You got Joe over there. Like Joe's a good guy, man. He'll call you, like, if you've been there and you've been putting money towards the shop, like as soon as they get a new collection, he'll call you. He'll tell you, hey, there's a couple slabs in here. He'll even work with you. The owner's an awesome guy as well. So yeah, Golden Apple for sure. James.
Oh, and shout out to Nuclear from me. Nuclear's out in the OC. I know none of us will mention it, but Nuclear's a dope shop. Yeah, so yeah, it is, man. King.
I'll give you 3. Hey, Sealess E-Man. That's 4 actually. I'll definitely say. Yeah. Oh, well, of course, you took it out of my mouth there, bro. Like Crush Comics in Castrovelli. I love that shop a lot. Also Cape and Cal. That's obvious.
Yeah.
Here's one that doesn't get much love, and it should. Dr. Comics and Mr. Games in Oakland, California.
I heard a lot about that one.
Piedmont.
Yeah, Piedmont.
Yep, I used to go as a kid, bro. By Fenton, you go to Fenton's right after.
Yeah, I know the owner, so it's like that shop's been my day one, man.
Me too, man. I think that's the first shop I ever walked into when I was a kid. Was that one?
That shop, Piedmont. Dr. Comics, Mr. Games, was my day one. That's one where I was there for a Frank Miller signing when back in the day. I had him sign a bunch of my books. Back when it was okay for free. It was let me see. There was a lot of good stuff in that shop, man. And
yeah, man.
And just offset, I would say, if you're in Santa Rosa, go to Outer Plains and Games, Outer Plain Comics and Games over there in Santa Rosa. It's got one of the largest dollar bins you'll ever see. Just going through there, what did I find?
King gonna show us, bro.
Mail call.
Here we go. Show him, King.
Waterfront Comics.
Yeah, I like that guy.
Oh, damn, bro.
So, this stuff I found in their dollar bin, just sitting there.
And they honored it, right? They honored it, man.
They honored it $1 each, man. So
yeah, man.
That's how it worked. I mean, like that, and then I'm specking on this one right here real quick, but Avengers AI. So definitely, if you ever get a chance, that's definitely a dollar bin spot you want to go check out, guys.
All right, JR.
Obviously, Empire Comics Vault in Sacramento, World's Best Comics in Sacramento, Comics and Collectibles. The only problem with that shop is they got a troll that sits there every Friday and Saturday. You got to deal with his fat ass. Another one. This is an online shop, but mycomicshop.com, I believe it's called.
Oh yeah.
Or it used to be Lone Star Comics.
That's
that's a great shop to go to. You can always find low prices on there. I do agree. A1 Comics is a good shop. I preferred it before the pandemic, but that's just how it is. Everything they do now is on eBay, so it's not as fun for me.
All right, Big Rob.
Well, for me, of course, my shop, Kamikaze Comics, I've been going there since 2006. They treated me well.
Oh yeah, they do, bro. I see what you be getting from them, bro.
Yeah, fucking Ghost Rider, bro.
I know.
So definitely Kamikaze. TC
They don't
Rocket.
like me over. They don't like me there, King. They don't like me, bro.
Dude, that's funny.
TC Rockets, also here in San Diego. They've been great to me. They have done great business with them. I picked them.
TC Rockets. Yep.
Their backbends are legendary around here. So, who else? Yeah, Book Off. Can't forget Book Off.
Book Off. They honor it all, bro.
$1, everything, bro. So, yeah, those shots for sure. And yeah, that's it for me.
And Nick.
Could you imagine if Book Off is like, hey, we're gonna start looking up things on our phone?
Oh
yeah,
my God. They might, bro. They might. They did it with the Funko Pops.
Because everything else
they did it with the Funko Pops, bro. Right, Nick?
I have to look this up.
Look, I gotta give a shout out to my local guys. Nowhere Cards and Games.
Yep.
Matthias over there is the owner. He
Matthias
He knows his stuff. He's always on the heads up of like the new indie books. Like he was yelling at me, telling me to buy Something's Killing the Children before Something's Killing the Children was hot. Stray Dogs, all that stuff. So it's a great shop if you guys are looking for Boom Studio stuff, image stuff.
Matthias does his shit. He does his homework. Not unlike a lot of other shops. You know,
he's one of us. He truly knows his stuff. Comics and stuff. You know, it's a shop.
Manny wouldn't agree with you, bro.
Well, they're in the malls and they're run by a lot of kids and stuff like that. So the kids, like Rob said, they will honor the price on the book, right?
Yeah.
So,
Astro Wizards in the building.
So that's legit. And yeah, man, you can sometimes, like Ian has, find little gems that they've forgotten about, like Ultimate Fallout. Ian finds for like $200 a copy at comics and stuff. So, shout out to them for holding it down out here in San Diego. Much
I
love.
I actually found one for $60. Remember that one, man? That was back in the day.
Exactly, right? So, and then in Seattle, man, my hometown, Golden Age Collectibles in the Pike's Place Market. That was always my spot when I was a little kid.
I went there. That's dope.
Right? They've been around for years, man. So shout out to Golden Age Collectibles, my man Tony over there. Yeah, that's it.
Yo, man, but I always tell you guys, man, we're all hood rats, so welcome to my world, man. Every time I walk into 3 shops, they're looking at what I have and checking eBay before I even get to the damn counter, bro. So fuck you, shops, for doing that shit to me. So for real, bro. Bro, y'all are hood rats now, bro. Like, welcome to my world, bro. Welcome to my fucking world. So